I'm delighted to be able to join you from London in this global conversation on the cost of carbon. It's very encouraging that people around the world are getting together to discuss what is at its heart the defining challenge of this century, managing climate change. And that's what the cost of carbon is all about. Just 7 years ago, almost to the day, we published the Stern Review in the UK. We looked at the costs of emitting these greenhouse gases, and we said that if we left them unmanaged, we could be seeing losses to national income equivalent to 5 to 20% of GDP averaged over space, averaged over time, averaged over location. That's a terrible price to pay. But that actually conceals, in some ways, the cost to life associated with migration and conflict that could well happen, in some places is beginning to happen, but it could happen on an enormous scale. Well, what can we do about this? Well, the answer is a great deal. We can stop letting people damage for free. We can stop subsidizing this pollutant by not charging for it. That is the first plank of our policy. Secondly, we can become much more efficient in our use of energy. Perhaps half, 40%, 50% of what we need to do on the energy front to combat emissions can be realized through energy efficiency. And thirdly, we have to promote research and development. A price on carbon, making it rewarding to find ways to cost carbon, can encourage research and development, but we need direct support for research and development as well. There's so many possible technologies that are coming through. Some of them are changing very fast, like the cost of solar has come down. Solar photovoltaic panels has come down by a factor of 5 or so, divided by 5 over the last 6 or 7 years. But we need strong technical progress right across the board, from ways of saving energy in homes and buildings, to transport and cars, to electricity and so on. And there's so much that we can do. So those basically are the 3 planks on policy. First and fundamentally, cost of carbon. Make people pay for polluting, or at least stop subsidizing is another way, and a better way perhaps of putting it. Stop subsidizing pollution, get much more efficient on the energy front, and find new technologies. Side by side with that, of course, we must stop deforestation and start reforesting. So basically, we know what to do, and it looks very attractive. It can revive economies in the shorter run, at a time when there's weak demand, when there's unemployment and interest rates are on the floor. It will, like past waves of technological change, lead to 2 or 3 decades or more of innovation, investment and growth. That's the medium-term story. And in the long-term story, we know that the high carbon path is simply the anti-growth story, because it will create an environment so hostile that our normal ways of life will be badly disruptive, and our standard of living will go down, and our grandchildren risk being a lot poorer than we are as a result of our negligence now. So we know what to do, and the alternative path looks very attractive. But it starts, and it must be central to this whole story, with putting a cost on carbon. And that's why today's conversation is so important. So once again, thank you for letting me be with you. I'm Nick Stern from the London School of Economics and the President of British Academy, and I wish you the very best of luck in what is an extremely important day and an extremely important long-term challenge, where we can understand what's necessary, but it's up to us to get on with it.